We're just 5 days away from the start of the month-long extravaganza that captivates most of our soccer-crazy planet, called the World Cup. The 2014 edition is in Brazil. Joshua Robinson is a London-based sports editor for the Wall Street Journal Europe. He departs for Rio de Janeiro on Monday, and I'm envious, but today he's here with us with a tournament preview. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You know, America sort of doesn't pay a whole lot of attention to this, but this is just absolutely huge in the rest of the world, isn't it?
Oh, large swaths of the English-speaking and non-English-speaking world are going to grind to a total halt over the next 2 weeks. Especially the beginning of the tournament, where you've got 48 games in 15 days. We're talking about the first weekend of the NCAA tournament for 2 straight weeks.
It's been fascinating to watch the headlines because there are so many coming out of this, including that this is a billion-dollar industry for FIFA. What exactly are the headlines you're seeing, especially in Brazil right now?
Well, you've got a country that's actually very divided about hosting this tournament. The approval rating for the tournament keeps dropping. FIFA badly overreached, and Brazil badly overreached. You only need 8 venues to host the World Cup, but Brazil, at the time it won the bid, the economy was doing well, said, look, we're a huge country, we're the home of soccer, we're going to build 12 stadiums. And what you've got now is up to 3 that aren't fully ready for the tournament.
Which, I mean, this surprises me because, I mean, first of all, there's $1 billion, $500 million in prize money, right, for the World Cup. But Brazil spent something like $14 billion. And you know how much we know how much Brazil loves soccer. You thought they'd embrace this.
Well, the problem is that, you know, there are still some major gaps in social programs and things like that in Brazil. And especially if Brazil goes out early, I think we're going to see a lot of problems of, hey, we put up with all of this for 7 years for the rest of the world to come party.
Well, speaking of who goes out early, Spain won the World Cup in South Africa 4 years ago. What do you think? Is there a possibility there could be a repeat for them?
Well, it would be historic. The last country to repeat was Brazil in 1962. We haven't seen this in half a century. But they are far and away the best technical team out there. But they've huge competition from other European teams, especially Germany. Plus, we've never had a European team win a World Cup in South America in 4 times that it's happened.
That's really interesting. Let's talk about the USA here. It's never a good sign when you're in a bracket that's called the Group of Death.
It's a little ominous.
So it looked like an uphill battle for us. We're in with Germany, Portugal, and Ghana. I guess has ousted us the last couple of times.
Yeah, 2006 and 2010, Ghana knocked out the U.S. And now we happen to face Germany, one of the pre-tournament favorites, and Portugal, which has a guy you may have heard of named Cristiano Ronaldo.
I have definitely heard of him. Very easy on the eyes. I want to ask you about the U.S.'s coach, though. He's a German coach.
He is.
Does that have any bearing in all of this?
Well, I mean, he's a German hero. He won the World Cup as a player in 1990. But he's pretty Americanized. He's been in the U.S. for over 15 years. He even dropped the umlaut from his first name.
I remember being in Russia at one time during the World Cup, and in a restaurant where there were people from all over the world, and everybody was focused on the television, and there was, you know, just constant screaming and shouting. What's the scene we're going to expect, in the next couple of weeks in Europe? Oh,
in Europe, the timing of the World Cup is perfect for Europe because we're talking about games at 5 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, and even 11 and midnight. A lot of pubs in England had to request special permission to stay open later, past 12:30, so that they could show the games, have people partying, watching the games, and rooting for England.
It really is fascinating. I even read something that Google is doing street view tours of those 12 World Cup venues. So a lot of people will have a chance to see it from a lot of different angles. Joshua Robinson, thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
We appreciate it.